Hey guys, welcome back to some more Overwatch. And we actually are on the PTR for Overwatch at the moment because they are testing
Never stop fighting for what you believe in.
a new hero, Ana, as you can see right here. She is Farah's mom in the lore. You can read up on her on Overwatch website, but we're going to have a quick look at her skills. The queue times for a quick play game are really long in the PTR right now, so I'm just going to go and take advantage of the practice range to show you guys what she's got under her kit or in her kit. Got the biotic rifle. You can use it to snipe enemies and heal allies. We'll go through that in a second. Nano boost gives them a speed and attack damage boost for a couple seconds and reduced damage taken. Sleep dart will put someone to sleep. What it doesn't say here is that any damage received while they were asleep will wake them up, and I believe it's about 5 seconds of a stun, so to speak, but any damage taken at all will wake you up immediately. So if you're maybe one-on-one with somebody and need to get away, this is going to be ideal. But in a group fight with lots of AoE flowing about, you might not put someone to sleep for very long, but it would interrupt ultimates such as High Noon or Reaper's ult or Roadhog's ult, so it'll interrupt an ultimate. But there's already some ultimate interrupts in the game already, so that's not too crazy. And the biotic grenade, which will heal, that's a targeted grenade, and it also will damage an enemy and prevent them being able to heal. So if you threw it on a Roadhog as he's low health, he would not be able to use his heal skill, and then you can finish him off, or somebody else can finish him off. So that's pretty cool. This is what she looks like here. We'll look through her skins in a second. There are some other changes to some other characters. We'll look at them briefly as well. So this is her main rifle. Scope is quite quick. So you can see there. And the damage isn't fantastic. Now they recently changed her magazine from 6 to 8 bullets. I believe it was 6 a couple days ago on the PTR, so obviously anything you see here is subject to change. This is the friendly heal, as you can see. You don't have to be scoped, you can shoot at them unscoped. It has quite a slow rate of fire. It's a rifle, so I should expect. And you can shoot enemies outside of scope also. This is the E, so it increases healing on them, or does some healing. And this is the snooze. See how long it lasts for. There you go, it's about 5 seconds, maybe 4 seconds. So her rifle actually does dot damage over time. So if somebody's getting healing, there's a potential for your damage to outstrip the healing if it's maybe a Lucio heal. I don't know exactly how much chip damage it would do on a Lucio, but it would certainly prevent his passive healing for a few seconds. And then you've got the ultimate, which isn't very easily displayed here, but you can see that they just do increased damage and attack speed for a certain period of time. So that's Ana. We'll go through her skins and stuff in a second. Now I'm really excited to play her. Her scope seems much easier to use than the current iteration of Widowmaker. It's a lot quicker to zoom in and a lot quicker to zoom out. We'll do a quick comparison here with Widowmaker. As you can see, it's actually a lot slower to get the scope ready to go. Probably comparable. Yeah, it's comparable. But with Widowmaker, you obviously have to wait for the power to charge up. And she's obviously designed as an assassin type hero, not so much as Ana, which is why her damage is higher, obviously. So there are some other changes that I want to show you guys while I'm in the hero select. So they've made some changes to the gameplay. If a match goes into overtime now for more than 20 seconds, overtime will tick off quicker. As it says, the fuse will now start to burn down more quickly, to quote the patch notes. And players now respawn slower during overtime, so they've increased the spawn time by 2 seconds during overtime, and I assume that's for both attacking and defense teams in an attempt to cut down on the amount of overtime that matches can go into. Big diva here. Second, they're toying around with the idea of reducing or capping heroes at 1 per team in competitive play only. So that would mean only 1 diva, 1 reaper, etc. They're not touching quick play in this respect. And again, this is testing, so they want to see how it feels. They have put a blog up about it if you want to go read it on Overwatch.com. So that's potentially a huge thing for competitive play. Competitive play is pretty broken at the moment. There's a lot of issues. Hopefully they can iron them out before the next season starts. Obviously, we see Ana has been added. Just reading through the notes here. So they've changed some achievements for Zenyatta. It's easier to get the multi-kill achievement for him now. And some other minor things there. In regard to the heroes themselves, they've changed self-healing abilities to now actually charge your ultimate. So that means that Roadhog's E will actually charge his ultimate, as will Soldier 76's self-heal, Bastion's self-heal. Who else is a self-heal? I guess Lucio's self-heal when you amp it up, and probably, I don't know about Tracer, because when you rewind she does regain health, but I don't know if that's considered a heal effect. In any case, that does contribute now to your ultimate bar, but what they've done in to counterbalance that is increase how much you actually need to get ultimates with those characters. So they increased Bastion's ultimate cost by 10%, and they increased Lucio's sound barrier by 10%. Let's see here. There's another few changes I want to go over. So let's just go through the characters one by one. So, like I said, Bastion ultimate cost increased by 10% because of the self-heal. Diva's been changed quite a bit. So her defense matrix is now a right click instead of E, so it's alternate fire, and this is what it looks like. And you can see that bar that's charging down in the middle is actually an energy bar of sorts. You can hold down your right click until that bar is expired, and that's how long you can use your defense matrix for. So it actually has a 1 second cooldown, which means you can pretty much use this whenever you need it. For sustained fire or against an ultimate, you want to hold it down, and then for every now and then you just go around the corner. It's going to be much more fun to play Diva, I think. Her shift is still the same, no difference there. Her ultimate has been changed so that you no longer take damage from it yourself, which is just great. One of the biggest problems, I suppose, with Diva was her ultimate. You can now actually stick around to see the fruits of your ultimate should you actually kill anybody. So it will no longer kill you, which makes me a very happy Diva bunny. So you can notice more so in the practice range what her damage is like at distance, and it scales up the closer you get because you've got your cluster is much more focused, as you can see there. So what else with Diva? Yeah, the self-destruct cost has actually been decreased by 15%. The delay has been decreased from 4 to 3 seconds, and like I said, it no longer damages you. Now there is a new command or option in the controls to toggle this on or off, similar to Reinhardt's shield, Widowmaker's scope, and Mercy's alternate fire, so you can toggle it. You don't have to hold it down if you change that option in the controls. Like I said, Lucio's sound barrier has already been increased. McCree's Peacekeeper. This is a big change for McCree. So they actually made it so that his regular fire does more damage at longer range. So it does full damage at longer distances, but will deal less damage at extreme range. So you can one-shot the bot from here, but not from here. So you can see where the extreme range comes in. He still does good damage, but he can now one-shot from a little closer. So that helps McCree players, I think. With the change to Fan the Hammer, they weren't quite as strong up close, but now they can at least do some more brawling at medium range. Let's see here. Mercy's Caduceus staff, his damage boost has been increased from 30% to 50%. So, where is she? You won't be able to see it here, obviously, but this is the right click on an ally. So that's pretty cool. You should see a lot more damage boost used by Mercy players, especially if they have a backup healer or a second healer on their team. Another big thing that they changed would be, oh, and they also changed that to no longer stack with bonus damage from another Mercy, so you can't double stack Mercies on the same person anymore. They changed Resurrect charge cost to plus 30% of what it was. And movement is no longer prevented. So when you resurrect, you're not stuck in like an emote that you can't move. So you can resurrect while you're moving, which will be a huge quality of life change for Mercy players, because basically when you resurrect, unless you're behind a wall or already in cover, you're really exposed. You can't move to cover. You have to just pop resurrect and hope nobody nails you while you're doing it. And that's quite a common thing that happens. Mercy resurrects her entire team and then gets destroyed almost instantly by herself. So the other thing is Guardian Angel resets upon use instantly. So it's that's apparently a change, but I'm not seeing that right now. It says in the notes that it's a 2-second. It was a 2-second cooldown, but it says in the notes that it resets upon use. So we'll see about that. Roadhog's ultimate increased by 45%, and that's because he's got quite a large heal. A quick look at Mercy here. Yeah, it says in the notes that that's instantly resets upon use, but that might have been reverted. Like I said, these PTR notes are a couple of days old, and they made some changes just this morning. Soldier 76, his pulse rival spread recovery begins after a short delay rather than instantly. That should help address some of the issues that we've been hearing about with his macro spam. So I think that's, you can see that there a little bit. Tactical Visor ultimate cost has been increased by 10%, and that again is to compensate for his self-heal. Zenyatta now has more health. He has base shield has been increased by 50, so it's now 150 shield plus 50 health, which will make him a lot more tanky. It's only 50 health, but he was pretty weak when it came to getting AoE damage and sniped and stuff like that, so that'll help him survive a little bit more. And the Orb of Discord and Orb of Harmony have been increased in projectile speed. So they hit you much faster. Almost instantly, actually. Where's the... So Harmony seems to be a little bit slower, but Discord's definitely notably faster. What else for Zenyatta? Movement speed now doubled while he's in Transcendence, which is huge because he was quite slow and it was difficult for him to keep his teammates in range while channeling his ultimate. So that'll be helpful. And his increased healing during Transcendence has been upped to 300 instead of 200 per second. So they have some notes on their thoughts behind that. So again, they're there on the site if you want to read them. But all in all, good changes. Some minor things for the UI, nothing too crazy. You can now turn off mid-match tooltips, which is a nice quality of life change. Having played 50 to 60 hours of this game and still getting beginner's tooltips every time you respawn was quite annoying. There's now 21:9 aspect ratio support for video cards, and you can now add a clock, apparently. So wherever that setting is, I'm not sure. Here somewhere. Well, I'll not spend too long. Oh, display system clock. Here we go. That's actually quite good, because I don't see where it's supposed to be. Did I not? I didn't apply it. I actually like that because you can easily lose track of time doing when you're playing this game. Where is it? Display clock. Get off. Bye. Where does it go? So top right. Okay, and it's not intrusive at all. Let's see here. They've changed the frequency of commendations for Zenyatta's Transcendence healing and projectile barriers for Zarya. Nothing too big there. Some minor bug fixes, and pretty much it. They changed some things on maps. So King's Row has been fixed so that the payload no longer goes back to its starting location when it's not touched for a few days or for a few minutes. It would actually go back to where it was inside the building. Some issues with collision have been changed. Now, a couple of things I did want to mention just before I go, and I wrap this up here, that haven't really been in notes. But if you look on the forums, there's been some talk about Hanzo's hitbox being changed. Now, there's a few videos out online about this already. If you're a Hanzo player, this might be of interest to you. This is PTR, so I'll just do a quick demonstration of the hitboxes. See, they had to get quite close there. So the big thing was the frontal hitbox, and this is just a carbon copy of research someone else has done on YouTube. I apologize that I don't remember the person who actually put the video up, but it's out there if you look for it. You can see that the hitbox has been tightened up quite well, and that's in direct opposite to what's on live at the moment. That would have, some of those shots would have hit that robot on live. So again, if you're a Hanzo player, check that out on the PTR. You might need to get used to being more accurate with Hanzo. So that's pretty much it for the patch notes. Like I said, this is the PTR notes as of the 12th of July, which was almost a week ago. Or sorry, at point of recording, it's the 15th, so it's a couple days ago. And they have been updated again on the 14th. So these are very much subject to change. But I'll try and keep you guys up to speed on what's happening. We'll have a quick look at Ana again before we go. See if we can have a quick peek at some of her... where does she show up? She's first, because of course it's alphabetical. So we got her golden guns. It's quite awesome. And we got some skins here. We got citrine, typical recolors. Garnet's pretty cool. Peridot, turquoise. I like this one here. It's pretty cool. Very MGS. And this one might be my favorite, Shrike. Wish you could zoom in on these skins, it's pretty awesome. We've got the Wadjet, which again is quite good. Wasteland is a recolor, again I like that myself, and then Captain Amari, which is her original younger self. So again, that's her guns. Emotes, that's a typical disapproving grandmother look right there. That's pretty cool. Tea time. Oh, I like that. I go well with the tea time skin. Victory poses. Okay. Protector. Pretty standard stuff. And then seated. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Justice delivered. Children, behave. Everyone dies. It takes a woman to know it.
I like this voice actress. She's been in lots of stuff before. I remember her clearly more so from 24. I think she was a season 2 or season 3 of 24. I don't know the actress's name.
Everyone dies. It takes a woman to know it.
But I'm quite a fan of her work. I like her voice. And then you got the sprays, which is standard stuff. Here's some of the basic ones. Again, you can look at all this stuff on the PTR yourself. We'll just look at the highlight intros real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. I like that one. I think that's my favorite one. But yeah, that's the patch notes for the moment, guys. I don't think I missed anything. If I did, of course, feel free to let me know. But I'm really happy with the way this is kind of progressing. I want them to fix competitive play, and adding more heroes is always a great thing. So hopefully we'll see this on live soon. Who knows what other changes might be in store for us. But thanks for watching, and like I said, check out playoverwatch.com for the patch notes. There's some other little bits and bobs in there, like UI changes and some bug fixes that are not too critical to mention in the video, but you might want to read up on them in any case, and some bugs that related to heroes. But thank you for watching. I will see you next time, and have a good night.